Valley, and we've had a number of unsolved mysteries right in that area. Just blocks from where those bones were found,
Partial remains of a woolly mammoth found in Michigan provide new evidence about ancient humans. The remains were discovered in a farm field.
An adult male, probably in its 40s at the time of its death.
Well, it's a discovery that could be out of this world. Working in the field, he and his eldest son came across an interesting piece of debris. The pair say they are unsure what it is.
We thought it was garbage, and then after that we got closer and we don't know what it is.
Remains of giants from the past, creepy creatures, or unexpected discoveries.
But seriously, I don't get real excited over bison skulls.
Farmers have seen their fair share of bizarre. So let's gain some perspective by having a look at what weird things these farmers found that left everyone shocked. During an exploration near the river, a man stumbled upon this remarkable find, initially mistaking it for a simple bison skull.
Oh my goodness, look at the spread on those horns. But seriously, I don't get real excited over bison skulls anymore. I found so many of them.
Upon closer inspection, he was astonished to realize it was actually a bison antiquus skull, a species that existed around 10,000 years ago. Resting in the sand, this massive skull was an ancient fossil with its impressive horn spread of approximately 30 inches. Surely not an everyday find. Bison remain. Out on the hunt for some major discovery near the dried up river, this guy was hit up by this giant buried in the riverbed. Going in, he pulled it out and found a bison skull. Finding one of these skulls in a nearly perfect form is highly unusual, but this guy seemed to have hit the jackpot. With its complete horns and perfectly hollow eye sockets, it was flawless. Chupacabra remains. Finding skeletal remains on your trip to the deserted woodland would be no one's idea of fun, but this guy encountered exactly that. In the dark of the night, he stumbled upon a couple of bones. Taking a closer look, he found that it was a complete skeleton with a long set of ribs, a muzzled skeleton, and a pair of long limbs. It didn't look like any known animal. The remains were pretty decayed. The guy recording the clip was sure he had found the skeletal remains of the infamous chupacabra, a blood-sucking beast that attacks farm animals. Orang Pendek. It seems like the giant's mystery wasn't enough. Indonesia has got its own kind of humanoid giants, known as Orang Pendek. Part of Indonesian folklore, they're said to inhabit remote mountainous forests on the island of Sumatra. And it looked like these guys had somehow found the elusive giant, covered in orange-colored hair. They were only able to capture the backside of the being. As it realized the group with cameras and started running, the guys tried to chase it down, but to no avail. It just disappeared into the thick woods. Gigantic bone.
Y hasta acá.
If you think Mexico can't get any more creepy, then this clip will definitely change your mind. When a man decided to take a walk in the woods nearby his house, he wasn't expecting to discover a giant bone lying out in the open.
Ver algo ahí que me parece como un tronco. Vamos a ver qué. Esto es un hueso. Es un hueso.
And what made it all the more strange was that he had never seen it before, and its size was no joke. Looked like a pole had fallen down. But the real question was, what animal did this giant bone belong to? Everyone had their own theory. Some said it was a dinosaur bone, but the region had no history of ancient fossils. Dim bones. Seeing a snake's slithery movements, you might think it doesn't have bones, but they do. In fact, they have more than us humans. Now, if you're wondering what a snake skeleton looks like, well, here it is. A guy found this on his poultry farm.
This is probably two snakes.
Two snakes, that's the one.
After he noticed his chickens disappearing, the snake was probably the reason behind the chicken disappearance. Its entire skeleton was on display, from bony skull to petite structure. The farmer couldn't tell what kind of snake that was.
It's just, it's like fish bones.
But the discovery was pretty cool. Bigfoot hand. Now, have a look at what this guy has got. Discovered back in 1953, this man was able to recover this huge hand. And he claimed that it was a Bigfoot hand, kept frozen to dull the decay of time. The hand, covered in red hair, still had frozen blood, translucent fingernails, and distinct ridges like humans.
Notice the fingernails. I don't know if you can tell, but they're translucent like a human's.
He showed some bizarre properties of the hand. It attracted the metal nails, meaning it was magnetic.
Right? And I have the Bigfoot hand. Watch this.
And the guy believed that Bigfoot's entire body may possess this trait. However, except for the guy, no expert has been able to test the claims, leaving it a mystery whether the magnetic hand was real or not. UFO sphere. A few days back, an Australian farmer made a very strange discovery on his farm when he found a large metallic sphere with a diameter of 4 to 5 feet. The guy was too frightened to approach the sphere. The pictures he took of the sphere revealed very little detail about it. The discovery sparked worldwide curiosity as people tried to identify it. Some said it was space debris. Others had ideas about an extraterrestrial origin. Further investigation and expert analysis could tell the nature and origin of the sphere. Bizarre wreckage.
Well, it's a discovery that could be out of this world. A farmer from Ituna says while out working in the field, he and his eldest son came across an interesting piece of debris.
A strange discovery was made on a Saskatchewan's farmer's field. While working, he found a 100 huge pound object on his grain farm. The entire neighborhood speculated about its origins. Extraterrestrial object, crashed UFO, or some prank. Everyone pitched in with their ideas. As the news of the discovery made headlines, online theories suggested it might be a part of a satellite, as it was pretty burnt and seemed to be made of special materials. Recently, a similar big piece of debris was found on an Australian farm that turned out to be a part of a SpaceX mission. However, the origin of this one isn't confirmed yet. Mysterious rock. A group of treasure hunters exploring deep in the woods of Brazil stumbled upon an old wooden box that seemed to hold ancient secrets. Inside, they discovered a single orange-colored stone. When one of them picked it up, they felt it was extremely hot.
Credo? Não, tá esquentando, cara. Tá esquentando, pega pra você ver aí. Caramba, tá quente mesmo. Tá mesmo, cara? Gente do céu.
Then suddenly cold, and then hot again.
Não, tá gelado.
Tá gelado?
Tá gelado.
Ué? Credo?
Não, tá esquentando, cara. Tá esquentando, pega pra você ver aí.
Curiously, when they placed it in a puddle of water, the water began to boil around the stone.
Ó, não sei, dá pra você ver, ó.
Olha lá as bolinhas lá, ó.
Ó, tá borbulhando.
Ó.
They realized the stone had a strange ability to change temperature when touched. As news of their discovery spread online, some speculated it was a cursed stone, explaining why it was hidden in the box. However, the true nature of the stone remains a mystery. Giant snowballs. When these Chinese farmers came to their field after a night of heavy storm, they weren't expecting to find this, a bunch of gigantic snowballs lying among their plants covered in dirt. I sure have heard about hailstorms, but what kind of storm falls such huge snowballs? The farmers were left speechless and had no clue what had happened overnight. If you have any guesses about what might have caused this snowball, be sure to share in the comments. Gigantic snake. A man was flying his drone over a nearby river when his camera recorded the bird-eye view of a very huge snake slithering by the riverbank. It looked like the snake god of all snakes. Its sheer size was enough to induce fear, even through the screen. Can you imagine encountering this giant? However, the clip was met with a lot of skepticism, as many people thought the clip was computer generated. Let me know what you think of this clip in the comments. Albino gremlins. You must have heard the fictional character gremlins. What if I tell you they exist in real life, and that in a very weird form? These white creatures running around in the field have been making rounds on the internet with huge ears, long mustache, and no apparent eyes. No one could tell what these creatures were. Many people thought they were albino gremlins, but the way they were walking on 4 legs made their resemblance to a goat uncanny. Someone even said the clip wasn't real and the critters were nothing more than a hoax. Eerie skeleton. During a hike near Chicoba City, Japan, in January 2019, a student came across a strange scene in the woods. Hidden among the trees were skeletal remains that didn't resemble any known animal. Twisted talons, a bent spine, and a square-shaped head with rows of humanoid teeth. Excited by his discovery, he shared the footage online and sparked a frenzy of wild theories about its origins. Some speculated it was extraterrestrial, while others suggested it might be a mutation from a nearby nuclear plant. Despite the buzz, experts remain skeptical as none of the theories seem liable. Many questioned the creature's authenticity, and their doubts were validated when the student admitted it was a model he had crafted for his art studies. Vergana alien. Back in 1996, residents of Vergana, Brazil, made a bizarre claim about encountering UFOs and extraterrestrial life, and one of the clips from the encounter has recently been making rounds online. While walking through the woods, one of the locals found a tiny humanoid creature lying on the foliage-ridden ground. The short, red-eyed, brown-colored entity was thought to be an alien being. Due to the short, blurry footage, it faced more skepticism, with many even doubting its authenticity. Some said it was a planted hoax, while others thought that if it was an alien, it should be tested, and the results should be verified. Hindu Naga. Taking a walk into the woods, this guy hadn't expected to see an eerie mythical entity. He found a creature with an upper body of a man, but instead of his lower body, there was a tail of a snake attached to it in the middle of the thick woods. Seeing the sight in front of him, he was sure he had encountered the legendary creature, Naga, from Hindu folklore. Its upper body moved and the video cut off there. Many internet folks doubted the authenticity of the clip, while others believed the clip, saying it was indeed a humo-serpentine creature living in the woods. Dwarf family.
This the spot. Nah, come back out. Look, why they be feet?
Just as the existence of giants is quite the mystery, it seems there's another mystery waiting to be unveiled. That seemingly normal tiny nook of a tree was actually the safe haven of these tiny things. A creature so small you wouldn't have noticed if not brought attention to. They seem to have made the tree their home. When the clip ended up online, many people thought it was a group of the little people famous in Indian folklore. According to the stories, it's better to avoid going near them as they are very hostile. Real Dogman. This clip posted online claimed to have captured the infamous Dogman, a humanoid dog creature that's believed to live in the woods. And when a man went into the forest at night, he was shocked to find the being from the myths in the flesh right in front of him. A dark-haired creature with its facial features resembling a dog, but the way it was crouching down on the ground seemed very human-like. Keeping a safe distance, the guy quickly recorded the clip and posted it online, leaving everyone wondering what really exists in the dark depths of the woods. Eerie humanoid. This guy's trip to the woods was cut short when he encountered a creature right out of a spooky movie. As he was walking down the path, he noticed a pale entity emerging from one side of the woods, appeared in front of the guy, probably trying to cross the path. The state it was in was more freaky than its presence itself. On all fours, it looked like the creature was twisted upside down. Spooked out by the eerie sight, the man turned around and ran to save his life. The Murray. A man put up a camera in the middle of the woods to see wildlife in their natural habitat. But what his camera captured sent him in a spin along with the internet. In the clip, a creature was seen running across the frame. As its looks resembled a velociraptor, people thought it was the comeback of the short dinosaurs. However, another famous theory said it was a famous cryptid from Papua New Guinea called the Murray, a dinosaur look-alike sighted multiple times. Strange bird. A guy recorded this footage when he encountered an odd-looking thing right in the middle of the woods. It looked like a bird with a huge feathery body. But why does it look like a bird with the body of some other animal? People thought it looked like an emu, but their neck is more slender and long, not furry like this. Some even said it was another dimensional bird stuck in our realm. However, with no clear clue, the bird creature was left unidentified. Stringy vortex. This huge blob of strings twirling around in the middle of the street. It seems this bunch of strings was controlled by some entity in the center of it. The clip was posted anonymously, so no one knew where this was recorded. Many internet folks thought this clip was nothing more than a hoax. However, there was a possibility of this creature existing, as this wasn't the only time this stringy creature was caught on camera. Here's another sighting captured in the woods. With a bunch of thick tentacle-like things, it thrashed around covered in dirt. Real or not, these clips sure kept the internet confused. Writhing creature. A guy was clearing out his backyard when he stumbled upon this creepy creature lying on a pile of dry leaves. Its presence would have gone unnoticed in the camouflage surrounding if it weren't for its twisty movements. Writhing upside down with no prominent facial features or limbs, its thin tail and prickly body was a complete mystery. Some people thought it was an extraterrestrial entity. Others suggested it could be an unknown cryptid. But I'm more worried about the backyard, what kind of condition it was in that it gave rise to this mystery creature. Farm armadillo. A farmer's day at his field just got a little adventurous. Going about his normal routine, he found an animal out of the ordinary. A four-legged giant with a huge tail and short-snouted face. The farmer had caught the intruder by its tail and wasn't letting it go. You must be wondering what animal that is. Well, that's a giant armadillo. It's not a typical animal to be found on a farm, so the farmer had no idea how it got there. As soon as the guy loosened his grip on its tail, the armadillo took a run for it. Just see how fast it disappeared. Lucky day for this intruding pal.
Vai, solta ele, solta, deixa ele embora.
Descended machine. Residents of a local village in India were surprised when they found a huge spherical thing in their farm. Everyone came out to take a look, but no one had any idea who put it there. People started to speculate. Some naive villagers thought it was an alien-related object. Others thought a divine entity had put it there to help them out. But soon, the truth behind the unknown object was unveiled, and it turned out to be a balloon. A weather balloon, to be specific, sent into the atmosphere to study the weather. It probably came down as it eventually lost its power. Satyr. While tending to his field, a farmer noticed a goat-like creature hiding behind the bushes. He was left shocked seeing the entity since he didn't keep goats of his own. The creature's strange posture and features were unnerving. It appeared to crouch like a human rather than stand on all fours, and was sporting a pair of horns on its head and a flat humanoid face. This sighting sparked various theories. Some said it might be a goat man, while others thought it could be the satyr, a sinister mythological creature lurking in the fields alone. Monkey chicken. If you think you have seen it all, then have a look at this and be left speechless. A mutation, or some kind of twisted hybrid, a chicken body with the head of a monkey. A farmer found this anomalous creature on his farm and had no idea where it had come from. Held by the wings and moved its legs, meaning it was very much alive. When the clip was posted online, many people thought it looked like the flying monkey from the old movie The Wizard of Oz. So could this really be a fictional character come alive? Or was it not real at all? Let me know what you think of this creature. Sasquatch. If you're a believer of Sasquatch existence or a skeptic, I'd like to know your views on this allegedly most legit Sasquatch sighting. Walking through a trail in the woods, this guy came across something very strange. He noticed a giant humanoid figure walking in the distance. Not wanting to let his presence known, the guy hid behind a tree and recorded the ground-breaking sight in front of him. The figure, covered in dark hair, was only caught from behind. The clip faced claims of being real and a hoax alike. Many thought it not possible to identify the mythical creature from that great distance, while others suggested it could be dangerous to invade their living region. Pale cryptid. Walking through the woods, you never know what you might end up seeing, like this guy, who encountered a very bizarre thing during his forest exploration. Hiding behind a bunch of bushes was a pale-looking creature with a pair of huge eyes. Having no idea what it was, he quickly recorded the footage and let the internet folks decide for themselves. Some said it was a baby owl. Others went straight for the wild guesses, saying it was an elusive forest-dwelling cryptid. And it was hiding, trying to conceal its identity. Was this the real deal or something just pulled a creepy prank? Let me know what you think. Creature from hell. This clip of a very strange-looking insect has been going around on the internet, and people are calling it the creature from hell, a bizarre-looking insect with a long spear-like body, a pair of wings at the very end of its body, and if it already didn't look strange, its curved tail end moving aggressively will surely creep you out. It sure gave its predators a hard time. I know you're probably thinking, what kind of insect is it? After being called a hellish creature, an expert came forward revealing that it was actually a stick insect. And for all the punching, this insect is pretty harmless. The house elf. Dobby, the house elf. What is it doing in this clip? I'm hoping you have the same reaction to seeing this video. This is actually a zoomed-in version of a CCTV footage, recorded near a residential area. The strange creature has left everyone fishing for answers. Other than claims of a fictional character coming to life, it seems no one has a satisfactory explanation. Well, if the online theories are any true, then I'm sure Harry Potter fans worldwide would want to meet the guy. Dogman or werewolf? This clip claimed to have recorded the renowned Dogman out in the wild. The guy who encountered the beast took the footage from behind a tree, and to be honest, it looks like the real deal. Dark creature with looks that resembled a dog and a figure that looked similar to a human. But many internet folks argued it looked like a werewolf, a hybrid wolf-human. It could be because a wild dog and wolf look quite similar. However, the short clip didn't make it as enough proof of any of the creature's existence, leaving it an unsettled mystery. Tangled mess. If your mind has ever weirdly wondered how snake mating might go wrong, then the next one has got the goods. When a farmer in Thailand went out on his routine field work, he was shocked to find 2 king cobras in dire need of some untangling. Trapped up in a fence, these guys ended up on the wrong side. The farmer called an expert for help, keeping their jaws in firm grip. He cut the ropes and set the reptiles free to roam back into the wild. Mystery solved. A family from Texas surprised everyone by claiming they had caught a chupacabra.
Called me to come and look, and I said, Bubba, that looks like a baby chupacabra.
They took precautions by putting it in a cage to keep it from escaping. The local residents were astounded as they had never seen such a creature before. However, when they handed it over to the experts, its true identity was revealed.
Animal in the cage, as best I can tell from the view, was some form of a small canine.
Turns out it was likely a hairless raccoon suffering from mange, a condition that causes extreme hair loss in animals. Case solved. Unicorn. A short clip has been going around on the internet that allegedly caught a unicorn on tape. Standing on a hill, the clip featured a fair 4-legged animal walk behind a bunch of trees. Its pale body and a single horn on its head made everyone believe it was indeed the mythical animal from fairy tales. But as the clip was pretty blurry and had a lot of disruption, skeptics suggested it could just be a pale horse, or the video might be a hoax. With a lot of conflict, the creature in the clip was never identified. Field invasion. Going on his farm for routine field work, this farmer was met with an unexpected sight. He noticed an odd-looking package in his water-filled rice field. It seemed to open on its own, and then the entire thing started to disintegrate into tiny bits. The farmer had no idea what this thing was. Thinking it was some kind of pest landed on his farm by air, he didn't touch it, scared of any potential hazard it may have. However, it sure left the viewers stumped. Shooting mud. Could this be a geyser of mud shooting up from the ground? A farmer noticed this bizarre occurrence while tending to his field. Among the tall bushes, a large well had formed and was emitting bubbles. The farmer might not have understood the phenomenon, but let me clarify. This often happens in areas where methane gas is present underground. It seems like the farmer stumbled upon a natural gas deposit. Parallel universe. A rock portal to another dimension. This guy was sure he had found a rock that could provide a way out of our matrix. The clip showed a rock with a strange glow. As he moved it, the rock rolled away, but the portal remained there. Putting his hand in that pale glow, he apparently crossed the barrier between the dimensions, and the place he ended up was the same as our world, but a little glitchy. As much as we would want it to be a modern reality, it's probably too unrealistic for today's technology, and the guy was probably putting on a show. But let me know what you guys think of this one. Moving stone. While exploring the wilderness, a man came across this, a massive stone moving across the ground. How could such a heavy object move like that? It even seemed to have 4 small appendages. Did they help in its movement? The man eventually picked it up and placed it in a bag, so he could take it home for a closer examination. Speculation arose that it might be a remote-controlled stone, but without evidence, the mystery of this moving stone has confused many netizens. Lion-like creature. Take a look at what a man caught on camera during his regular morning stroll. Out of nowhere, a strange creature appeared to be scaling the fence trying to get to the other side. But due to its short nature, it struggled with the climb, initially resembling a lion due to its large head. The creature's small size and sloppy movement dismissed the idea. It seemed like a hybrid creature, probably an escaped experiment from a laboratory, now out seeking freedom. Top-level camouflage. Is this tiny thing out to give the best camouflaging animals a run for their money? Taking the disguising game up a notch, this caterpillar cracked the code to shape-shifting. Have a look at how it normally looks. And this is the trick it pulls whenever it feels threatened, to turn away any predator. This caterpillar basically shape-shifts into a snake. Eyes and face exactly similar to a snake. Is this magic or what? And I guess this face is enough to make anyone think twice before attacking. Gilled deer. Now, get ready to see one of the weirdest animals on Earth. A deer-like animal with all those moving muscles on its face. This is a muntjac deer. Also goes by the name of alien deer. They are famous for their squeaky screams. They pull out when alarmed. Their weird face movements are actually gills like a fish has. But for these deer, they serve a very specific and high-end purpose. Deer gills can pick up very specific scents in their surroundings. The reason why not many people know about them is because they are highly elusive, preferring secluded places. Snake sheds. While exploring the African wilderness, an explorer encountered an extraordinary scene. Stretching out before him were rigid white logs that couldn't be missed. A never-ending series of snakeskin sheds spanning an estimated 70 feet, or 21 meters from end to end. These sheds were evidence of a colossal serpent. Snakes shed their skin to rid themselves of parasites. In awe of this immense find, I can't help but think about the sheer size of the snake if encountered in the flesh. Diamond discovery. An Indian farmer from Kurnool hit the jackpot when he stumbled upon a diamond while tending to his farm. Yes, a diamond. During his work on the farm for the monsoon crops, he noticed a stone shimmering under the sunlight. He curiously unearthed it and reached out to local jewelers, who confirmed its value as a precious diamond. This discovery turned into a moment of joy for the humble farmer, who later auctioned the gem and sold it for a whopping 1 million Indian rupees. Interestingly, this region has a history of diamond discoveries, which led other diamond enthusiasts to try their luck in uncovering these valuable treasures. Open discussion. This picture of a giant bison skull going viral online was captured when a guy found this in a park. A bison skull bigger than the man standing next to it, measuring about 15 feet long and 21 feet wide. This skull was one of a kind. But before you think this gigantic bison existed at some point, let me tell you, this is actually a sculpture done by an artist back in 1990. Well, if you ask about the real-life biggest bison skull, then it would be this one. A curator at the Royal Alberta Museum has this Ice Age bison skull, the biggest and most old in the museum's collection. Here's a comparison between the Ice Age bison skull and a modern bison skull, showing the significant difference in their horn size. The Ice Age bison skull was pretty impressive. It was discovered a few years ago and donated to the museum by its finders. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.